Hello, and this is Daniel Dester from Hertfordshire Web Design. My first portal call is just to say hello to the people on the social media that I'm sharing this podcast with. I assume that I'll probably be focusing on the Facebooks, the Twitters, the ideally LinkedIn, but this is pretty much for you. And the reason why I'm sharing this on a business post is because Hertfordshire Web Design works specifically for startups and small businesses. And as this podcast might suggest, I'm going to focus on why you actually need a website and quite possibly why you might need to improve the one you've already got. So straight off the bat, I'm going to pretty much explain to you that Hertfordshire Web Design has been around for 3 years and has been accumulating and helping out small and SMEs, small to medium businesses across the Hertfordshire area, including London, and also can help you because what we do is work with you personally. Really, it's I think that personal touch that makes us a little bit more unique, but going away from the selling point, I need to get straight onto the issue of this podcast straight off the way. And here it is. Why do you need a website? Why do you need to improve the one you've already got? The people who've already got a website, or the businesses that have got it, have seen some benefit to it depending on how they've actually set up the website. So it's all about taking your brand seriously, and how we pretty much would say is that your brand is pretty much your business card, your marketing, your actual central linchpin, your hub of every single thing that you define as your business, regardless of whether you have a brand as in a logo, but as a brand as a whole, what people say about you, your ethos, your company. It's all part and parcel of everything that you do, and who you are. And it's beyond being just a logo and a business card. A website is by far from some of our clients, the only means of actually attaining leads and traffic. So again, this podcast is specifically unique for people who are interested in moving away from the likes of using a Weebly website, a Wix, a Squarespace, or even a Google, how do I say it? Not just a Google website, but also a GoDaddy website. And that's the reason why, is that all of these websites are nice, but they have a lot of similarities. So if they're taken out of a template, that is a template that's completely solid, rigid, and has got no flexibility whatsoever, then you are not going to have sustainability in the future. You're not going to be able to push your website to the point where you can how do I say it, scale it up and improve on it. And I've done a podcast already with regards to this, and I've written a post about it on the HertfordshireWebDesign.com website. And the way that I see it is this: is your platform is something you have to own, with regards to your website, and as people who've already got a website, it is under your own rules, it's under your own terms, it's a private place for you to actually own your content. This allows you to actually have something that others tend not to have, which is a decent, flexible website that works across mobile phone devices and works across a lot of how do I say systems. And that's what we make sure happens here. Is and the reason we know that is because we do analytics, and what that means in layman terms is that we actually count the number of visitors that come to your website, the number of people that click onto the website advert itself, if you need an advert. But the way that you are found, most websites are found, is through the old-fashioned way of just going through a search engine. We know that you do not ideally use Google search, because whether you feel that Google isn't exactly the be all and end all of all search engines, but one way or another, you still use some form of search engine to actually find what you're looking for, whether it's in your local area or a place you're going to. What we need to do is make sure that you actually show up on that list, and that's what search engine optimization is. You are going to be coded so your website is able to be found. So why do you need a website? Again, yes, you can do this. You can actually build your entire business based on Facebook, You can do it straight through Twitter and Instagram, and I get the feeling that some companies are even moving to LinkedIn, which is quite an important facet. But all of those are websites. All the social medias are websites under a rule, under an umbrella that's always changing its goalposts, and how you will be competing with other people is based upon how the search engine pretty much sees it. So if you were to have a Facebook page as a business, you would come out down lower rankings, because the way that people search now is they're not going to know your business name straight off the bat. They're going to have a certain list of criteria. So for example, Hertfordshire Web Design would be found under, well, Hertfordshire Web Design. So if you were looking for a web designer in Hertfordshire, then you would find us on that list. If you're looking for St Albans or Hertfordshire Web Design, or web designer near me, I think that, to be quite honest with you, those are the types of searches that a lot of people do. So think about how you would be found on a search engine, and whether social media actually works for you on that front. So going back to that, is with regards to your branding and your look and feel, I think that an email also gives you, in fact it definitely does give you a little bit more of a professional look. So if you're responding via a personalized email address, which most people who own their own domain actually find, is that they have that professional look and feel. One of my clients has actually had a massive turnaround with regards to having, instead of moving away from Gmail as an actual domain. So instead of, say for example, mine, Hertfordshire Web Design at gmail.com, we've got info@hertfordshirewebdesign.com. Now that gives you a more professional look and feel, and that's what websites do. Having your own domain and website then pretty much brings you into a little bit more of the forefront of being competitive and looked upon seriously. So yeah, professional websites also lend you to having an email, yes, having an email list, so you can actually have people put in their details and make sure it's all, legal and GDPR'd. And then you're able to actually write your own blogs and articles, which again the search engines find, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to turn up on Facebook or the social medias, because they don't. But what really does turn up with regards to your website is every time you write a blog that is associated with what people are searching for, and the more you write, then the more you actually turn up higher up the rankings. So that being said, that doesn't mean that we actually don't like social media. We work with and in conjunction with social medias across the board. So if you were to copy our web address and paste it onto your post, for example, if you're using Facebook or LinkedIn, that you will see that it's got a professional look, because it's being coded to have a professional look. Meaning that the website we build for you, if someone wants to copy and paste it and put it into a social media environment, that it will automatically create an image, that a piece of text, and then you could write about it, and it comes up automatically. This is part of working with social media. These tools are available and should be available to you automatically, even at this day. So to put it all in a nutshell, what we tend to do is we work directly with the clients, whether it's face to face or whether it's actually over the telephone. It doesn't matter the distance. It's really just basically holding your hand. And the first step really is to actually call us. And please go to hertfordshirewebdesign.com. It will be on the social media link, and the telephone number will be available as well. We are open every single day up until 7 p.m, including Sundays. So that pretty much means that we're able to tailor your needs if there's an emergency that comes up later in the day, if you're using a campaign at specific times. But that being said, the first thing we need to define is what sort of domain you already have, or what sort of domain you want. So if you are, say for example, what's the most recent project? Okay, cross training. So if you're saying crosstrainingstalbans.com is something that you already own. Now crosstrainingstalbans.com would be a domain that we would register. We would host it. We would actually build the website, design it, create you an email address, across the board, that entire thing. Of course, we need to talk about quotations, but what you will realize is that that domain is 100% yours, which pretty much means that you're able to control it and do whatever you like with it. And again, I've pretty much sort of highlighted as much as I can with regards to the benefits of having your own website. So feel free to get in contact with us. We are pretty much based all around Hertfordshire, so we can either meet with you or do a face-to-face discussion, or we can actually do it over the phone. But most of our clients prefer to do it pretty much either via email or via telephone, but we do recommend telephone because we just want to gauge the idea of how you interact, how you'd like to talk to us, and also just to make sure that we do the due diligence on who you are and what you'd like to achieve. Yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Speak to you soon. Hope to hear from you. And even if we don't, we pretty much wish you all the best with your business and everything you do.